Now, look, generally I try to avoid talking about the Voice because it is the great national distraction that the Prime Minister would like when he's not talking about the Russians, quick change of subject. Well, we know that one of the groups that's going to be in on Yes wants to try to weaponise the idea that if you are anyway No, then of course that is racist. Now, Bronwyn, I know that there are some polls that say that No is starting to win. I still think that when you look at the demographics by age and particularly some of the deep diving inside that the essential poll, that I still think Yes has got its nose in front. But how big a mistake would it be for the Yes campaign to, in any way, formally start to weaponise No equals racist?
But they've started already. And this referendum has divided the country like I really haven't seen anything else divide the country. And for Albanese to try and make this his great mark of making the country unified and strong is, I think, a dreadful thing he's done to the country. If he'd broken the question into two parts and allowed
one would win 90 to 10.
And say, yes, you can have recognition, but the Voice, no. And what we have to realise is that if it is a yes vote, then we are permanently divided on race. And secondly, we hand over the sovereignty of the Parliament to the High Court. And we just can't do that. We'll end up like the United States.
But Nick,
you want that?
Nick,
no.
As a message man, would you want to tell anyone involved in the Yes campaign, don't go anywhere near the racist claim? Because Chicken Little didn't seem to work when it came to the polls this week.
No, look, I think they've got to be very careful with that. I mean, of course, not every No voter is a racist, although every racist is going to vote No.
All racists
vote No.
I also think that there's a lot of misinformation being put out there by the No campaign. I mean, you just hear Bronwyn then sort of saying that we're handing parliamentary power over to the High Court. I mean, she's a smart lady and she knows that she's telling lies when she says that. That is just
Nicholas,
a willful misrepresentation.
As a former Speaker, I ask you to withdraw
and then you've got other supporters of the No claim out this week saying Bob Hawke. There's people out there saying Bob Hawke didn't support Indigenous recognition. You know, Codswallop. Then there's other people saying Vincent Linyare's nephew was supporting the OK. So there's a lot of disinformation.
Nicholas, the bottom line is nobody can tell you what the High Court will say. Nobody. And the High Court, once it's in the Constitution, has automatically in charge of all cases that come forward. And there's no problem with standing. And that's the legal argument, which is difficult. But
no,
also
that is such a stretch. That is such a stretch.
No,
it's fanciful.
No, it is not, Nicholas. It is absolutely correct. And I could go through chapter and verse, if you like, with just how the High Court
constitutional law in the country who agrees with you, Bronwyn.
Oh, there are plenty. There are plenty. There are plenty who say that by putting forward in its current language, it is an absolute disaster for this country. The one question that should be put up is to get rid of the race power out of the Constitution altogether.
100%.
What I like about this conversation is when Nick and Bronwyn are debating, James, you're providing the DVD commentary. I like it.